Good afternoon, class. Thank you. You can take a seat. All right, then we looked at factorizing using grouping and factorizing quadratic trinomials in our previous lesson. All right, the first thing we will do is look at the homework that you were given. We'll do that orally, and then we'll look at factorizing quadratics. But this time where A is greater than 1. All right then, number 1, A. Tamaku, your answer for A, please.
X plus y one bracket times x plus b the other.
X plus Y times A plus B.
A plus b.
Okay, Kyle, B.
A outside the brackets, B plus C in brackets, plus D D outside the brackets, C plus B.
You've got A times B plus C, and then what did you say? A and B plus C, and then did you have A again or D? Minus or plus? Plus and C plus B, like that. That's all. You didn't factorize it anymore. Okay, note B plus C is the same as C plus B. So you can say B plus C or C plus B multiplied by A. I think it should be minus. Okay. Minus here, because when you multiply, you will get minus CD and minus BD, which is these two. Okay, next one. Letter C. Kila.
2b plus q in one bracket multiplied by r minus 2s in another bracket.
Okay, 2p plus q times r minus 2s. Okay. Lester, letter D.
2a minus 2b times 2x plus 3y.
Okay, 2a minus 2b times 2x plus 3y. Letter E, Livingston.
X minus y times 3n plus 2n.
X minus y times 3n plus 2n is correct. Letter F, Patrick.
ab minus cd multiplied by p plus q.
P plus q times AB minus CD. Okay. Miriam, letter G.
3x minus 1 times mn minus pq.
Okay, 3x minus 1 times mn minus pq. And then letter H.
L minus 1 multiplied by k square L minus mn.
Okay, good. L minus 1 times k squared L minus mn. Any questions on that exercise on grouping? Letter H. Okay. If I group this like this, k squared L squared and m and L have a common factor of k squared L. Sorry. I have to group, if I group this, the common factor is going to be L. So L times, I'm left with k squared minus mn. K squared L minus mn, because it's k squared L squared and minus mn. So if I take out L, I'm left with k squared 1L and then mn here. Okay, if I take out minus 1, if I put minus 1 outside the brackets, I will get k squared L minus mn. Let me just move it a bit. Okay, first take out L, I get K squared L minus Mn, and then minus 1, and I get K squared L minus Mn. All right, if you find that there is no common factor, remember that all terms have a common factor, which is 1. 1 is a common factor to every term. So if there's nothing there, then you'll have to remove negative 1 because of the negative sign there. So the answer is K squared L minus Mn multiplied by L minus 1. Another way you would look at it is, since you see that there's a K squared L squared here and a K squared L here, you can write those two together and group them together. So K squared L squared, what is it? Minus K squared L, and then minus Mn L plus Mn. You can group them like that too. And then this one will give us K squared L, and then L minus 1, and then minus Mn L minus 1, and then L minus 1 times K squared L minus Mn. You still get the same answer. Is it clear? Okay, any others? No? Okay, we go on to the next one now, which should be a quick one for us. X squared plus 5x plus 6. Hekoi.
X plus 2 times x plus 3.
Correct. Velma. B.
X minus 5 in one bracket, x minus 3 in the other.
Okay, x minus 5 times x minus 3. Vui. C.
X minus 6 in one bracket times x plus 1.
X minus 6 times x plus 1. Correct. D. Solomon.
X minus 2 times x minus 3.
Good. Letter E. George.
X plus 2 times x minus y.
X plus 2 times x minus
y.
Y or 9?
9.
9. Okay, x plus 2 times x minus 9. Letter F. Andrew.
X plus 5 times x minus 3.
Good. Okay, for this particular type of factorizing, you just have to try and work out the factors quickly. And don't forget, those factors must give you a sum of the middle term. All right, then to today's lesson. We are still factorizing quadratic trinomials. Okay, but we are specifically factorizing those where a is greater than 1. What do I mean by a? Peter, what does a represent? After the previous lesson, I explained to you what a is. Anyone remembers? A is the Gabriel. A is, come on, what did you say?
1.
A is 1. I'm just saying here A is greater than 1. What is A? What's so important about A? I explained to you when I went through the general expression of a quadratic expression. I may not have written it, but I mentioned it. Jake?
It's the coefficient of x squared.
Yeah, A is the coefficient of x squared. Did I say it? Yes. I may not have written it down, but I said it. Right. A is very important. It is the coefficient of x squared. Now, I will continuously do this because later on we are going to solve quadratic equations, and A is very, very important for that. In grade 12, we also look at that again. We go into something else, and you have to remember that A represents the coefficient of x squared. If you are not using x, it's the coefficient of the first term, or whatever pronumeral that is squared. Okay, it's usually the first term. Okay, if we are to factorize this quadratic expression now, how would you recognize that this is a quadratic expression? How will you recognize that this is a quadratic expression, or all of these ones here are quadratic expressions? What's so important about quadratic expressions? Patrick, did you put your hand up? Miriam.
Because the pronumeral is raised to a power of, to a square other than another power.
Okay, the highest power is 2. Must always be squared. Okay, so that's how you tell the difference between a quadratic expression and another one. Okay then, to factorizing of that. If we are to factorize this, 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. The previous lesson, A is 1. All of these have a coefficient of 1. Now a coefficient greater than 1. So this is 2. Now, when I was in school, I learned what is called the cross method. Maybe your teachers taught you that last year. I never understood it. I found it very difficult. So I learned another method from my university lecturer, which is the method that I used because I understood it. I have to teach something I understood. If I taught you what I didn't understand, then you will probably not understand. So there are 4 steps. The first step, this is what you do. You multiply the coefficient of the first term with the last term. So you get 2 times 1 will be 2. Okay, this method is related to the previous one that we learned the previous lesson. The next step, you are to find two factors of the answer that you get in part 1. That will give you a sum of the middle term, which is 3. Okay, so what are 2 factors of 2 that will give 3? This time it happens to be the same 2 numbers, 2 and 1. And then that's the second step. The third step, you rewrite the expression to include the terms that you found above. So you rewrite 2x squared plus 3x plus 1 as 2x squared plus, I have now included 2x and 1x. 2x and 1x will give me 3x. And then plus 1. Clear so far? The next step, which is the final step, use grouping to factorize. You already know how to use grouping from the previous lesson. So this is what I've done. 2x squared plus 3x plus 1, I've rewritten as 2x squared plus 2x plus x plus 1. Then I use grouping. I group 2x squared and 2x. So I get 2x times x plus 1. There's a common factor of 1 here, so plus 1 times x plus 1. I've now factorized this as x plus 1 times 2x plus 1. Okay, let's see if we do example 2 together without having to write all of that. The first thing, we multiply 2 and negative 12. I get negative 24. You don't necessarily need to write it down, but it's good to write it down so you know. Okay, I'm now to find 2 factors of this negative 24. When I add them or when I subtract them, we just say sum of. That will give you a sum of negative 5. Okay, 2 factors of negative 24, that will give me negative 5. Anyone? Put your hand up if you know. Vui?
Negative 8 and positive 3.
Okay, negative 8 and positive 3. The next thing you do then is to rewrite this as 2y squared. Instead of minus 5y, you are going to say negative 8y plus 3y, then minus 12. And then use grouping to factorize. Common factor 2y, y minus 4. Common factor here 3 times y minus 4. So I will get y minus 4 times 2y plus 3. Again, to check whether you've got the correct answer, you multiply y times 2y will give me 2y squared, y times 3, y times 3 will give me 3y, minus 4 times 2y will give me negative 8y, negative 8y plus 3y will give me negative 5y, and minus 4 times 3 is negative 12. Okay, you have to do example 3. Finished? Okay, again now. If you multiply 12 by 5, we get 60, 2 factors of 60, that will give negative 17. Gano?
Negative 5 and negative 12.
Okay, negative 5 and negative 12. Okay, so this is equal to 12x squared minus 5xy minus 12xy, because you have xy, and then plus 5y squared. So this is x, 12 minus 5, 12x minus 5y, this will be minus y, 12x minus 5y, which is 12x minus 5y multiplied by x minus y. All right, you are going to do the first 3 questions on the screen. Good. If you take x, then it should be 1. Take minus 1, and then x minus 4, and then x minus 4 here. There, okay. So it's going to be 2x minus 1, not plus. Right. Minus 1. If you don't see any common factor, just take minus 1 out there. X minus, no minus. because minus times minus will give you 4. So that one has to be minus because there's a minus sign outside. Make sure you put 1 so you don't forget minus 1. But you got an x minus 4 there and x plus 4 here. Minus 1 times x minus 4. That one. You put it there. Okay, 2 times. Yeah. There. That's it. In grouping, these two will always be the same. If you made a mistake, then they will be different. So you have to check. It can't be because this one is going to give you 4y squared and not 2y squared, but that's 2y squared. Okay, this one is correct. When you factorize, you take out, okay, y, 2y plus 7, but this one here, 2y and 7 don't have any other factor except 1. Remember what I said? So minus 1 and then times 2y plus 7. So there's supposed to be a minus 1 here. All right, let's just check whether we've got the correct answers. Letter A. Boromeo. 2x squared minus 9x plus 4. What's your answer?
Two x minus 1 in one bracket. And x minus 4 in the other.
X minus 4.
Yes.
Okay, 2x minus 1 times x minus 4 is correct for letter A. Letter B, Natasha?
Two x plus 7 y minus 1.
2y
2y plus 7 times y minus 1.
All right, 2y plus 7 times y minus 1. Letter C, Jake.
Fo- 40 minus a times 40 minus 9 times t minus 1.
Okay, letter C is not correct. 40, that's minus 40, and then minus 90 will give negative 13t, not negative 15t. Something is wrong. Anyone else with a different answer for that? Okay, Rita?
T minus 3 times t minus 1.
40 minus 3 times
T minus 1.
t minus 1. Okay, 40 squared minus 4 minus 40 squared minus 4t minus 3t gives me minus 7t plus minus 3 and minus 1 will give me positive 3 and not positive 9. Still it's wrong. Vui.
T minus 3 in one bracket and 40 minus 3 in the other bracket.
40 minus 3. Okay, let's see. 40 squared minus 3 minus 12 is minus 15 plus 9, right? So 40 minus 3 times t minus 3. Is there any question on this? Is there anyone in this class who learned how to use the cross method before? No? Did you ever factorize where a is greater than 1, or you just factorized where a is equal to 1? Okay, if you use the cross method, it's actually not wrong. You can use it. The thing about the cross method is that it uses trial and error method somewhere. That's why I can't use it. Okay, you're going to do letter D and E since you have no question. You have, maybe just do letter D first so you have less homework to do. Letter D quickly, we have 2 minutes left. Careful your sign. Yeah. 16. Oh, 16. It's all right. Okay, 36 has vectors 1 and 36, 6 and 6, 12 and 3, 18 and 2. All right, letter D, 4b squared plus 16b minus 9. Is there anyone who wants to give us the answer to that question? Pond relay.
Two b minus 1 in one bracket and times 2b plus 9 in another bracket.
Okay, 2b minus 1 times 2b plus 9 is correct. Okay, for homework, you have, I think, 5 questions to do. Okay, that's letter E, F, G, H, I. I hope that's all. Yes. Okay, the keyword to the pilot teacher is groupings. Good afternoon, class. Thank you, you can go.